VZA, this is KD8EPC.
KD8EPC, KE8VZA. I'll have NetLogger up in just a sec here.
All right, very good there. I was getting a little panicked because I didn't see it. All right, KD8EPC, we'll be starting the pre-net in just a couple seconds here.
Is there a net tonight?
That's affirmative. The pre-show starts in just a few seconds. Stand by. KD8EPC.
Okay, I'm writing a complaint to Firmatech for their software, so I won't be on tonight.
The BeaconNet, a gathering of hams from around the world, will start on the system in 30 minutes. Come join us.
All right, there is my girl. Good evening and welcome to the BeaconNet pre-show. My name is Dustin. My call sign is KD8EPC, and I will be your pre-net control for the evening. The BeaconNet meets every Sunday and Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time here on the W8WKY repeater 147.390 with a positive offset and a PL tone of 114.8. Allstar Node 48496 and Echolink W8WKY-R. This is a directed net. All traffic must pass through net control and all stations are welcome to check in. We will take multiple rounds of check-in, so if you don't get in the first time, just stand by and we'll get to you as soon as we can. We're linked in with our friends in Oklahoma, Fireside, and various other networks. We asked you to key for a couple of seconds before and after you transmit, and make sure you let everything drop so we can hear everything you have to say. Let's see here. As is tradition, before we start taking check-ins, though, we're going to go over here and we're going to do Mickey Mouse roll call and talk to everybody, see how their radios are sounding, and make sure they are present and accounted for. We're going to start right here at the top with KE8VZA. Eric, he's going to be the master of the big show and main trivia tonight. So, Eric, how you doing there, and what's going on?
KD8EPC in the group, KE8VZA here, doing well, enjoyed Field Day. It was good seeing you at Field Day, Dustin, and good seeing everyone else that was there. And it was great making contacts. I made several handfuls of contacts, I think. I lost count on 40 meters, so it was pretty cool. Everything's ready to roll here. NetLogger's up and running. Apologies for getting it up under the wire there, but I was crafting the trivia question, so I think it's a good one. So back to you, Dustin, KE8VZA.
All right there, Eric. Great to hear you, and no worries. I was just looking at the schedule to make sure it wasn't my turn to do it, and glad that you're there and glad that it's up, so no worries at all. Looking forward to seeing what you got for us. Well, let's go down here and see what Just Nick's got to say. KD8SLG, are you melting ice there, Nick?
KD8EPC, this is KD8SLG. Good evening, Dustin and all the Beacon netizens. I'm melting ice. I'm melting it with canned margaritas. So, yesterday was Audrey's birthday, so we are celebrating it tonight since I was otherwise occupied. So, y'all have a great night. Maybe I'll come back on later. But good hearing you. Mark me out tonight. KD8SLG back to net control.
All right there, Nick. Well, good to hear you, and you guys enjoy yourselves there, and good to see you yesterday at Field Day, and we'll, I guess, probably talk to you again, Wednesday or so. So we'll say 73 to you for now, and I don't know that he's here. I don't think he is, but we're going to try him anyway. QKO, Nick at night, you out there? All right, I didn't think so. So, Nick, if you're listening, 73. Let's go to Josh, W8HRF. Good evening, Josh. How you doing, and are you going to stick around for the big show?
KD8EPC, W8HRF. Good evening, Dustin. Good to see you at Field Day yesterday. Going to be in and out tonight. We're going in tomorrow to bright and early for the having the baby, so that'll be exciting. But I'll let Lucy say that, or what she wants to say about that. But All right, we'll catch you later, Dustin. KD8 EPC, W8HRF 730.
All right there, Josh, 73T, and good to see you yesterday, and looking forward to catching up with you again there real soon. Let's go down to Miss Lucy, K8YUK. Good evening. Take it away.
K88 EPC and the group, K8YUK, and passenger. I will also be in and out. I'm going to need sleep and mental stability for the agony, which I have signed myself up for. But hopefully it'll get the kid. So prayers are appreciated for our well-being, but it'll be fine. We just have to be bright. We have to be up bright and awful tomorrow, because the only thing I want more than to sign up for pain is to wake up early to go to the pain. Yeah, but it'll be fine. And got to hang out at my soon-to-be sister-in-law's bridal shower today. I got to talk with my sister-in-law and my soon-to-be sister-in-law. It was very nice to have all of us kind of in our own little circles. So that was a lot of fun. It's good to see everybody at Field Day as well. Glad I made it, for better or for worse. And we'll see how next year goes. But good job, everybody. It sounded like it was a big success. And Josh has been very excited to tell me about it, so that's a good sign. That's pretty much it for me. So I'll pass it back to you, Dustin. Have a great night, everybody. Hopefully next time you hear from me, it will be with 2 kids on the outside. K8YUK to KD8 EPC. God bless everybody.
All right there, Miss Lucy. Well, it was good to see you guys at Field Day, and I just made a quick drive-by, so no contacts or nothing, but got to say hi to everybody, and that was pretty cool. So 73 prayers for you guys, and good luck, and we'll be looking forward to hearing you guys back home and with 2. So we'll say 73, and we're going to go over here to Alan, KI5DAY, all day long, our master of alternate trivia, because I'm contractually obligated to talk to him. How you doing there, Alan, and how's Larry?
KI5DAY in the net. Hey, Dustin. Good to hear you, man. And yeah, prayers for Lucy and Josh and Betty. Good luck tomorrow, and hope everything is a smooth transition. And what else? Man, it was a good weekend, very busy. Did Field Day yesterday. We had a serious rainstorm. Came through early in the morning, right off the bat, and just smacked us around. And then right after that, we started setting up, and the sun came out and just baked us all day long. It was horrendously hot and muggy, but we managed to get through it. I got kind of dehydrated by the end of the night, although I was drinking some Gatorade and water and all that good stuff. But it was a fun time, though. Rogers County Wireless Association, we had a lot of fun. We didn't go crazy trying to get hundreds and thousands of calls. I think I got 24 all said, but I was playing around with ham sticks and just learning different things and seeing what works and what don't work, and checking out battery stuff, and just all kinds of fun things. I learned a lot yesterday about what I need to bring and what I don't need to bring and all that jazz. So it was a good learning experience, but it was also a lot of fun. Great people in RCWA and people coming out to visit. So I'll be standing by. KI5DAY. Oh, yeah, and Larry's fine. Back to you.
W8WKY.
All right there, Alan. Well, great to hear you out there, and great to hear Larry, and great to hear things were good at Field Day, too. Like I said, I just made a quick drive-by, said hello to everybody, had some dinner, and had some other things to attend to. So we'll say 73. Have a great evening, and Eric will catch you back up here at the top of the hour. So, all right, let me tell you who we've got, and then we'll go get some check-ins. We picked up KF8G Brian. We have KI5TAQ Taco Tim in the customary 10th spot. We have K5CFY Mr. Ray. We have AB8MO Andy in the land of snow and maple syrup. KEQWE Mike, my neighbor to the south, and KEQFT Uncle Fred on the north end of town. This is KD8 EPC with the Beacon Net pre-show. I'm looking for more check-ins. Please call out.
Kilo Alpha 8, Lima Yankee Juliet, KA8 LYJ, Bob in Barberton. Sadly got to be in and out. Got a huge appointment at the crack of tomorrow morning.
Kilo Foxtrot 5, Alpha Delta Echo, Nick, Cibolo, Texas, KF5, ADE, and if you'll add Sandy, KG5, SYC into the list, we would be Much appreciated. KF580, back to net.
KE8 VOX at Kilo Echo 8, Victor Oscar X-Ray, Scott and Vermilion.
All right, let me make sure I've got it, and I'll tell you who we picked up. All right, we picked up K8LYJ. Bob was in and out. Bob, good to hear you, and it was quite a pleasure to meet the better half there at Field Day yesterday. And then KF580E, Nickelodeon, and Miss Sandy, KG5SYC, our Texas crew. And then we're going to go down here, and we got Scott, K8VOX, in Vermilion. Anybody else, before we go check who's going to stick around, please call now.
Whiskey 2, Juliet, Lima, Sierra, John and Fairlawn.
Okay, C8, F, QV, Mark.
All right, we picked up W2 at JLS, John. I was just thinking about you earlier, buddy. We have KJ5FLL, Brad was in and out. We have KC8FQV, Northern Mark. All right, that's quite the list. Let's go through them, see who's going to stick around and who's not. Now we'll take some more here in a minute. Let's go back up to the top here. KF8G, how you doing there, Brian? You going to stick around for the big show?
Well, if I don't answer, you guys had a long day at Field Day, and I had a long day at the track, so sorry, nodded off, but I'll be there. KFAG.
All right there, Brian. Yeah, he should get to you. You're first on the list, so you'll be right at the top of the hour. So put some toothpicks in the eyelids there and stick around. We'll say 73 to you for now, and that's going to bring me on over here to Taco Tim, KI5TAQ. How you doing there, Tim? And you going to stick around?
Good evening there, Dustin. Yes, I'm going to stick around. I'll send it back to Net Control. This is KI5TAQ.
All right there, Tim. Looking forward to hearing you when Eric comes back for you. We'll say 73 for now, and let's go talk to Mr. Ray, K5CFY. Good evening there, Ray. How you doing? You going to stick around for the big show?
KDPC and the Net, K5CFY. Good evening there, Mr. Dustin. Good to hear you in there. Had a good field day, and like Alan said, it was pretty hot, but and I don't think the bands are all that good. It was pretty lousy. I did hear Craig on there. I tried to get back to him, but never could make him hear me. But anyway, we had a lot of fun and made a few contacts, so it was all good. So I'll give it back to you there, Dustin. Have a good one. K5 CFY.
All right there, Ray. Well, great to hear you, and sorry to hear band conditions weren't as favorable as you liked, but hey, as long as you had fun, that's all that matters there. We'll say 73 to you for now, and that's going to bring me on over here to Andy, AV8MO in the land of snow and maple syrup. How you doing, my friend? Take it away.
KD80PC from ABHMO. Okay. Well, I guess you remembered I was going to be home, so yep, I'm back in the land of snow and maple syrup, away from the land of, what'd you say, salt water, and I forget. I forget what the other one was. Had a wonderful time up on Cape Cod. Brought, well, it is a little bit more muggy over here, that's for sure. We had one really hot, muggy day, but majority of the time it was nice, so having a side conversation with Josh HRF, and it looks like he had a blast at Field Day at the W8WKY Sarah Club. So That's all I got for now. I guess I'll stick around at least through my turn before I get ready for bed. I slept for 4 hours this afternoon. I was tired after driving for 12 hours. KD8APC, this is AB8MO. Back she comes.
All right there, Andy. We're glad you got a nap there. And field day was fun. I was only there for an hour or two, but it was nice to get to socialize and see everybody. And yeah, it was a good time from what I could see there. So we'll say 73 to you, and we're going to go just to the south of here. We're going to talk to Mike, KQWE. Good to hear you, Mike. Glad you're here so I don't have to do a bunch of crying after the net. Hi.
Kilo Echo 8, Quebec Whiskey Echo. Yes, I am here. I don't want you to be sad. And I will stick around for trivia and the whole show. So, Kilo Echo 8, Quebec Whiskey Echo, back to KD8 EPC.
Well, wonderful, Mike. Great to hear you, and glad to have you out there with us. So, Eric will come back to you here at the top of the hour, and I'll say 73 to you for now. And that's going to bring me on over here to Uncle Fred, K8QFT. What's going on, Uncle Fred?
Oh, sorry. Trying to get a hold of everything here. Not much to report there, Dustin. Hope everyone had a good day, and hope those who took them antennas down this morning had a good time. The cat walks across the keyboard, but it's not going to show up on the blue screen. In any event, I will be here, and I now return you to the pre-net. KE8QFT, back to the pre-net.
All right there, Uncle Fred. Well, good to hear you, and glad you were able to help them set up the antennas there. And it was good to see you at field day yesterday. So I'll say 73 to you for now. Bob, K8LYJ, was in and out. So if you're still listening, Bob, we're waving a hand at you. We'll say 73. And that's going to take me on over here to Cibolo. We're going to talk to Nickelodeon, KF5ADE. How you doing there, Nick? And you want to stick around for the big show?
Good evening, Dustin. This is KF5ADE, Nickelodeon down here in Cibolo, and Sandy, KG5SYC. All the way to this proxy. Yes, we are going to be definitely in the show and listening for the questions. Yeah, we'll see how well I do because I participated in field day up here, or I should say down here, and we had a good time. I was going to do an all-nighter, but we had a radio get a power flux hit from the generator, dropped it offline, and I'm sorry to say it's not my equipment. And so from about 1 a.m. This morning till 6 a.m., I was without a radio, so I went ahead and took a nap on the couch at the owner's op center. So there you go. But we'll be here for it, and so I'm a little tired, but we'll be here. KF5AD, back to net control.
All right there, Nickelodeon. We're glad to hear you're sticking around, and sorry to hear about the radio having problems there. That's no bueno at all. But hey, at least you got a nap. That's a good thing there. So we'll say 73 to you, and we'll go say hi to Miss Sandy here, KG5SYC. How you doing there, Miss Sandy?
Hey, Dustin, this is KG5SYC Sandy. No, it's not. She's in the, and I meant to say that too. She's in the other room giving my son. She's kind of away from the microphone, so there you go. She's proxied in. KF5AD for KG5SYC. Back to net control.
All right, there. I thought you may have said something along the lines of she was away, but I wasn't sure, and I was just following the pink line there. Hi. We'll say 73 to both of you for now, and Eric will look for you again here at the top of the hour. All right, let's go to the shores of Lake Erie, VOX, Scott and Vermillion. How you doing there, Scott? You want to stick around for the big show?
KE8 VOX, and that's affirmative, Dustin. I will be sticking around for the big show, and disappointed I missed you yesterday up there at the Sarah Club, but next year. Back to you.
All right there, Scott. Yeah, sorry we didn't get to run into each other. I had to work yesterday, so I didn't get there till about 5:30 or so, and then I only stayed an hour or two because I had some other things to do yesterday evening. So there you go. But I'll tell you what, there's no reason I couldn't make a hop, skip, and a jump up to the shores of Lake Erie one day and have an eyeball QSO and meet you for lunch or something. So Scott, we'll say 73. Catch you on down the log, and Eric will look for you at the top of the hour. Jump on over to Fairlawn and see what John has to say. W2JLS, how you doing there, John? Are you going to stick around for the big show? Uh-oh, let's try that again. W2JLS, John, are you there?
You had a double there, Dustin.
All right, sorry for the double there. Let me try this again. W2JLS, John, if you were out there and I doubled with you, sorry, go ahead.
W2JLS. Hey, Dustin, yeah, it wasn't me. You had a short time. I think one of the fellows from Oklahoma was trying to get in there in a hot hurry. But I'll let you know right now. I'll stick around, and but good to hear you. And sorry I didn't see you for field day this year. Okay, buddy. But one way or another, hope we can catch up pretty soon. It's been a long time. W2JLS. I'll be listening and here on the side.
All right there, John. Well, good to hear you out there. And yeah, sorry I didn't get to see you at field day, but shoot me a text sometime. I'd love to get together with you and catch up there. It's been way too long. So we'll say 73 to you, and Eric will pick you back up at the top of the hour. And that's going to bring me to Northern Mark, KC8FQV. Take it away.
Hey, yeah, I did a lot of travel today for no reason. But, but we'll be around. I might. But yeah, I did a lot of travel, over 100 miles. For nothing. So let's send it back. KCFQV.
All right there, Mark. Well, sorry you had all that running for nothing. We'll say 73 to you for now, and I'm not sure if he was in and out, but I'm going to try to reach out to him. WB4AIZ, Chuckles, are you still with us? Nothing heard. Let's try one more time there. WB4AIZ, Chuck in Florida, are you still there? All right, nothing heard. Chuck may have already fallen asleep. He's usually in and out. So, Chuck, if you're listening, we'll say 73 to you. This is KD8EPC with the BeaconNet, and the BeaconNet pre-show, rather. And I am looking for some more check-ins, so stations waiting to check in, please say your call phonetically, followed by alphabetically, along with your name and location.
Alpha 5 level, man.
Echo Mike Tango, KI5 EMT, Carol.
All right, I picked up a couple there. Well, let me tell you who I got. I know I heard Matt, AF5GB. There was another station with Matt. I didn't quite get that second station. Would that second station come back to me again one more time phonetically, please?
Kilo India 5 Echo Mike Tango.
All right, perfect. I appreciate you coming back there. So let's go up to the top here real quick. Let's talk to Matt, AF5GB. How you doing there, Matt? What's going on?
Oh, pretty good. We got some pretty good storms. That's right, northeast. We got one storm around Claremore. We got a whole lot of storms just over the Kansas border. We head down here later. I think towards Tulsa, but apparently here where I'm at right now, it's mostly cloudy and balmy, 91 degrees, and had a good weekend. Went out, went to Langley, Oklahoma to see a friend of mine. My other friend is straying. He was working, but I think I took one of them at least. But had a good day Saturday. Saw them, of course, did my laundry and everything, and saw them, or saw him, and then got back and told us about 12:45 this morning, and then went to been event, played the supercars, played the world's largest Pac-Man. Kind of hung around there for a little bit. Went home and played some more games there at my arcade table. Played Miss Pac-Man, Bingo, Outrun, and watched TV and had me a beer and ate some pizza. I'm on the bed, and then saw a friend of mine here in Tulsa earlier today, and then but otherwise just kind of took it easy. So get ready to start a whole new week. But just want to stop by and say hi to everyone. I'm gonna say week out there to get good at the hitting as well. Stay cool and 73, and I guess happy 4th of July. So anyway, that's all I got. This is AFIJB Matt in Tulsa, Oklahoma. 73. To catch you all next time out there. Thanks for having me on. Back to net control. Catch you all next time. Thank you.
All right, Matt, 73, and have a great night. Let's go down here, KI5 EMT. Carol, how you doing? Are you going to stick around for the big show?
W8WK. Yeah, I've just came back and heard this on the radio. I'm not familiar with the net, but I'm here. I went over to Bridgeport, Texas yesterday to field day for a couple of hours. Enjoyed that, learned a few things, and just sitting here tonight seeing what I can listen to. Back to net, KFI VMT.
All right there. Well, this is the Beacon Net. We meet every Sunday and Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. We start at 9:30 with a pre-show, and at the top of the hour here, I'll turn it over to Eric. He'll have a trivia question, and so will our friend Alan. So there will be 2 trivia questions, and it'll be a good time. So stick around and join us, and we'll say 73 to you for now, and catch you on down the log, and Eric will be back up to you here in a little bit. This is KD8EPC with the Beacon Net pre-show. I've got just a little bit left, so any other stations that are waiting to check in, please say your call phonetically followed by alphabetically along with your name and location. Boy, I certainly don't like awkward pauses. We've still got a little bit of time here, so all right, let's see here. Boy, this is KD8EPC with the Beacon Net pre-show. I'm looking for check-ins. Please call now. All right, we got just 1 minute to the top of the hour here, so boy, let's see here. Let's go up here and let's make one more call here. This is KD8EPC with the BeaconNet or BeaconNet pre-show. Any other stations waiting to check in before we get this thing started? Please call now.
Hi there. This is November 8 Express Kilo Delta N8 SKD Ida in Barberton.
Hi, Ida and 8XKD, we got you on the list there. Good evening to you. It was great to finally get to meet you at Field Day. Are you going to stick around, or are you just going to be in and out this evening?
No, I'm just going to be in and out. Oh, and Dustin is going to be a salt with me because I've got to wait for the beef.
All right, well, you made it through there just fine, Ida. I appreciate you stopping by and taking up that last little bit of time I needed until the top of the hour. So I'll say 73 to you. Have a great evening, and thanks again for stopping by. I'll look forward to catching you on down the log real soon. With that, my time is up here. Thanks for everybody that checked in with the BeaconNet pre-show, but it is time for the big show. So I'm looking for K8VZA. Eric, are you ready to take the helm and light up the nighttime airwaves?
KD8EPC, KE8VZA here. Yep, I'm ready, Dustin. Let's roll. QST, QST, QST. I am Kilo Echo 8 Victor Zulu Alpha. I'll be your net control station tonight for the BeaconNet with the SARA, the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association on the 147 Mark 390 repeater, call sign W8WKY. And it is in Doylestown, Ohio, a little bit west of Akron, a little bit south of Cleveland. And PL tone is 114 Mark 8. I forgot to mention it has a positive offset. You can also reach us via Allstar. Our node number is 48496. Or on Echolink, look for W8WKY-R in the list. The BeaconNet is a controlled net. I ask that all traffic pass through net control, yours truly. In emergency and urgent traffic, please break in at any time. At this point, I'll take a break for any urgent or emergency traffic. Please call now. KE8VZA returning. Very good. Hearing nothing. Let's see, what else? The BeaconNet meets here every Sunday and Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern with pre-checks at 9:30. And we have been mixing up our schedule lately. I usually do the pre-show on Sunday nights. I'm doing the big show tonight. And thanks to Dustin for doing the pre-show tonight. You did a fine job, Dustin. There's including you and me, there's 24 of us on the list, on the log here. Boy, I'm a little tongue-tied tonight. Anyway, we're going to take some more check-ins here before we get the net rolling. If you missed the pre-show opportunity to check in and you'd like to get on the log, please give me a call. I'm KE8VZA. All right, hearing nothing, let's get it started with our main trivia question. Okay, which everyday business tool has its roots in a facet of amateur radio? Your choices are Alpha, cash register, Bravo, spreadsheet, Charlie, Muzak, or Delta, barcodes. I'll take a break and read it again. KE8VZA returning with main trivia. Which everyday business tool has its roots in a facet of amateur radio? Choices are Alpha, cash register, Bravo, spreadsheet, Charlie, Muzak, or Delta, barcodes. I'll put this in the blue screen when I get a moment, and let me take a break for time. All right, KE8VZA returning. let's go down to Alan, KI5DAY, for our alt trivia tonight. Take it away, Alan.
KI5DAY, hey, you caught me off guard there. I was chatting away. Yeah, tonight's alternate trivia. Everything feels a little off tonight. I don't know if it's just me or Larry or I don't know what it is. But anyways, tonight doesn't feel like it's Beacon Net night, but I guess it is. Well, tonight's trivia. Yeah, let me let this drop and I'll give it to you. All right, KI5DAY returning. I think it's just because I was so dehydrated when I got home last night. I had to drink water all day yesterday, but it was so hot it was just draining us. But still catching up. Tonight's alternate trivia is as follows. There is an indigenous people called the Sulawesi. An indigenous people called the Sulawesi. They are unique in that whenever they eat their meals right along with what? Is it A, dead people, B, iguana lizards, C, pygmy boars, or D, the Cornwaldo Bean Bridge Club? Let me let this drop. I'll read it one more time. Okay, here we go. An indigenous people called the Sulawesi are unique in that whenever they eat their meals, they eat right along with what? A, dead people, B, iguana lizards, C, pygmy boars, or D, the Cornwaldo Bean Bridge Club. KI5DAY, back to net.
KE8BZA returning. Very good, Alan. I like that one. All right. All right. Good to hear Larry in the background there. Thanks. We'll clear with KI5DAY. And let's go ahead and get rolling here. We'll start the list. Yes, KF8G. Brian. How are you doing tonight, Brian? And what do you think your trivia answers might be?
Oh, you nearly lost me. But, I have no clue. Don't really care. But I'll say A for the first one and ketchup for the second one. How's that? Oh, just tired. I was official at the track. I really didn't have to do a heck of a lot, which is unusual for me. I was just kind of there. And the race team that we'd started in 2008, it showed up at the track. We did endurance racing. We did a number of 24-hour races with the same car. And they wrecked it at pit race a couple years ago. Ended up building a GTI with the same vintage. We had a 3-hour enduro on Saturday and a 2-hour enduro on Sunday. We took first in class both days, was second overall Saturday and 1 overall Sunday. And we are far, far from the fastest car on the track. It's just wonderful preparation. So we're really proud of the team. They're doing quite well with it. This all started off with a 24 hours of lemons, if anybody's ever heard of that. So, I didn't get home till almost 8:30 Saturday and 7:30. I made the 6-meter net. I ran the 6-meter net. It was a little before 7 I got home today, so I'm pooped. It's nice being retired. I could sleep till 9, 10 o'clock on Monday after a busy weekend. So with that, I will go ahead and turn it back to the net. KFHE. Good evening, everybody. Hope you get enough sleep to make up for field day.
All right, Brian. Yeah, I wish I had the foresight to have taken tomorrow off of work. But anyway, good to hear you tonight. Congrats to you and the team on a great weekend. Great placing there. Very good, very good. And it just goes to show you that the fastest car doesn't always win. I do watch auto racing on TV occasionally, and I used to watch it a lot more, but life intervenes. But anyway, very good, very good. Thanks for checking in with us, Brian. And 73. We'll clear with KF8G. Let's go down to Taco Tim, all the way from Baofeng, Oklahoma. How you doing, Taco Tim?
Well, good evening there, guys. This is KI5TAQ. I'll get right with the trivia questions. I'm going to go with Double D tonight. And that's where I'm going to stick to it. As far as auto racing, yeah, you're right. It's not always one out there by the driver. It's also one in the pit, depending on how fast those pit guys can go. And, of course, they also have to do it very safely. But with that, I'll just send it back to net control and let you get on down. This is KI5TAQ.
All right, very good, Tim. Good to hear you tonight. Got you down for double D's. And we'll see how it goes there. Very good, very good. We'll clear with KI5TAQ. Good to hear you tonight, 73. And let's go down to Ray, K5CFY. How you doing today, Ray? And how was field day? Ours was pretty good. And what do you think trivia answers might be?
Hey, VZA in the net. This is K5CFY. Good evening, Eric. Thanks for doing the net, lighting up the airways. We definitely appreciate you and all the Sierra Club that keeps the barometer net and the beacon net going. We definitely appreciate it. Did have a good time at field day. It was awful hot. I did hear, I thought it was Craig, AA5CT, but I'm not sure. But anyway, it was the W5 call sign there, or W8WKY. Anyway, but I kept trying to get back to them, but never did make it. But anyway, we had a good time, and but it was hot. You know, we got thunderstorms came through, and had everything soaking wet. We didn't even get started to set up till probably 11:30, so we were a little late getting on the air anyway. But let's see, I'm going to go with barometer and beacon. So there you go. Have a great net. Good to hear everybody out there. Hope everybody had a good time at field day. 73, K5CFY.
All right, Ray, very good. Yeah, I was listening for you guys. I was operating on 40 meters at one point for an hour, a little over an hour. I don't know, it was around 9 o'clock Saturday night. And I didn't hear you guys. Man, 40 meters was like rush hour traffic. It was insane. It was fun, but it was insane. Anyway, good to hear you tonight, Ray. 73 got you down for Bravo and Bravo. Barometer and beacon. Very good. 73, Ray. We'll clear with K5CFY. Let's go down to Andy, freshly back from his trip to Cape Cod. How you doing, Andy? And what do you think the trivia answers might be?
KAZA from ABHMO. Yep, back in Northeast Ohio. Still too far away to reliably hit the repeater, but so I'm coming in the same way as I did up there through Allstar. Let's see here. Yeah, I got more of a tan than I thought, so I'm happy with it. I got a little burned on my nose, so I had to. My skin was peeling today, so. But not too bad. Other people in my family got burned worse than I did. So, but I got a nice tan to show for it. So, I guess I might have to work on trying to keep it up. Probably isn't going to happen, but I don't know. Yeah, 2 meters and 440 was open. Been open all day today. I've been hearing repeaters all over the place. I had a radio on scan. So. Let's see here. Let's get to the trivia. Which everyday business tool had the truth and notebook? I don't know. I'll say spreadsheet. How about that? So Bravo on the main one. And I go with Pygmy Boars on Alan. So now that Alan is away, I guess I could talk about him now. I did not participate in field day at all. The Warren Club was trying to twist me into coming because I had gotten on the local repeater briefly, and they were trying to twist my arm. And I said, well, if I feel up to it on Sunday, I'll do it. Well, I went and took a nap at about 9:30, 10 o'clock Saturday or this morning, and didn't wake up till 3 p.m. So that ended that. I did not participate in field day, but I really wasn't planning on it. But here, glad to hear a lot of guys had a blast. Josh, HRF, sent me a few pictures. I saw, let me drop it a sec. I saw Scott, I forgot his call sign. Scott was sleeping under the table there. That was pretty funny. I don't know, KD8R or something. I never remember Scott's call, but I know who he is, and I know his face. Hey, what's your face? So glad to hear that everybody had a wonderful time at field day, even though I didn't participate, but that's okay. I had a wonderful time with my family, and we were traveling back on Saturday. Saturday was a travel day, so I figured I wouldn't kill myself quite yet trying to squeeze in field day after I had traveled 12 hours. Back to you there, Sir Eric. You're doing a good enough job. We need to give you more things to do besides net controlling and logging and trivia. I think you need to do more. KE8VZA, this is ABNMO.
All right, Andy. Yeah, my plate's pretty full as it is right now, but it was. I was very happy to help out with the setup of some of the antennas and tear down this morning, but that went well. And what else? Yep, sorry you missed field day, but of course you had a great vacation from the sounds of it. Sorry about the sunburn. Yeah, I always manage to leave some skin area exposed, my nose, my forehead, something like that, and get burned. But yeah, now you know. Tops of your feet too. Those can get you sometimes. But glad you're back, or on your way back, almost back, Andy, and got you down for Bravo and Charlie for the Trivium. And we'll clear with AB8MO. And let's go down to KE8QWE Mike, also a former member of the BeaconNet team here. And it was good to see you at Field Day, Mike. How you doing? And what do you think the trivia answers are tonight?
Kilo Echo 8, Quebec Whiskey Echo. Well, hello, Eric and everybody. Oh, let's see. I'll go ahead and get trivia out of the way. I don't know. I'm going to go with CNC. Figure C is good for about anything, so I'm going to go with CNC. Okay, well, the field day went well. It's on Saturday. I was part of the antenna crew. Basically, I held on to a rope, and I carried things, and, overall, I think I did a respectable job. Today, I got there, and most of the antennas were down. I got there around 9, and they were pretty well down, but I went inside, and they needed help there, so I spent most of my time inside. I got very proficient with a broom and a dustpan, so I figured, well, that's probably my calling. So after I finished up that, I came home, and I sat down for a minute, and I ate some lunch, and then I mowed the lawn. I killed some weeds. I did some trimming. Then I took a shower, and I took a nap, and then been doing some odds and ends ever since. So here I am, and sure is nice getting back onto this net. This is still a great net. So that being said, everybody stay safe, stay healthy. This is Kilo Echo 8, Quebec Whiskey Echo, back to KE8 VZA. See you, folks.
right, Mike. Very good. And, yeah, I think there was a very high degree of teamwork with the Sarah crew at Field Day, and that made things go very smoothly. So glad you were there to participate in it, and as was I. Got you down for Charlie and Charlie, and we'll clear with KE8QWE 73, Mike. Let's go down to Fred, KE8QFT, another member of the antenna setup crew. How you doing tonight, Fred? And what do you think trivia answers might be?
Leonard, thanks for recognizing my minimal efforts in the antenna crew, but I learned some things. You know, I asked a lot of questions, and I learned some things about them antennas. First, the trivia B in both accounts, Bravo and Bravo. Yeah, I learned a lot about them antennas, you know, and yeah, I mean, I found it, you know, kind of incredible how they put that, like, especially a big one off of like that flatbed, how they put that sucker up. I mean, yeah, it's, you know, pretty amazing stuff. And the other ones, although, yeah, I was basically just a 10-peg, you know, just a couple of times, but, you know, I did get a good suntan. Actually, I got red and pretty good, but yeah, I had a good time anyway. KE8QFT, back to net control.
All right, Fred. Well, I know you were more than a tent peg there. I was there. I witnessed it. But it was good to see you at Field Day. Got you down for Bravo and Bravo. And, yeah, Ken Dorsey's presentation on SDR radios was very interesting. Anyway, makes me want to do a little more research on it. KE8QFT, 73 to you, Fred. And let's go down to Nickelodeon down in Cibolo, Texas, KF5ADE. How you doing, Nick? How did your field day go down there, and what do you think the trivia answers might be?
Good evening, Eric. KF5ADE. Before we go too far, we've got to keep my brain intact. On the trivia question, the main one, or the first one, there was a letter for Muzak, and I don't know what the letter was for that one. Could you repeat that one, or just say that the letter for me, please? Because that's the one I'm looking for. If that works too, I'll go with the Muzak and the Dead People. How about that? Does that work for you? KF5AD.
Yes, no problem, Nick. Muzak was option Charlie, and Dead People for the alternate trivia was option Alpha. So I got you down for Charlie and Alpha. What else do you have for us tonight?
Super Deluxe, yeah. Field day was a hoot and a half, and I enjoyed myself. Worked a Flex, I think it was a Flex 8000 radio. So all you guys that are radio gurus know what a Flex radio is. And even though we had some issues with the power, because it is such a sensitive radio and a high-end radio, it would pick up that nasty fluxing from off of the generator, and it would shut itself off. And of course, it's such a complicated radio that I didn't know how to operate. I had to get the owner operator to come in to get things set back up for me. And at 1:15 in the morning, he'd already gone to bed, and I was operating the FT8 like a madman and having a good time with it because I'd never done digital mode before. And so I learned how to do FT8, which, for my sake, was rather quite easy. I didn't have to worry about dyslexia, having call sign problems and logging. It was doing it all pretty much by itself. All I had to do was click, 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 click. and keep an eye on things and make sure that the computer was doing its thing. But it was a lot of fun. It makes me think I might just want to go ahead and try that sometime a little bit more. But Sandy went ahead and decided to stay behind, and but I had a very good time. I enjoyed myself very much. I got to demonstrate my long wire end-fed antenna to a couple guys that were up there. They were kind of curious about it, so I did kind of not really put it up completely because one of the other fellows had his entire station end-fedded, so they got the chance to see it, but they wanted to see it more how it was put together, or how you lay it out. And thanks to the folks up at your end of the woods, up there, it was Nick and a couple other fellows that had these kite poles that got Sandy into seeing what they had, and that's how I wound up with the kite pole end-fed antenna. So it works, and we're quite happy, and I'm looking forward to getting some more time with it actually on a radio. I think I better get a loose of it. KF580, back to net control.
All right, Nick. Indeed, sounds like you had a great time at Field Day. I have never operated a Flex Radio. I've never actually seen one in person. I've seen them on YouTube, and they look really interesting, but they do look a little intimidating anyway. Yeah, I've been playing around with end-fed random wire antennas up here. I've built two, a 41-footer and a 53-footer, and they both work pretty well. I'm kind of amazed. So I'm still experimenting with the positioning of them in the backyard here, and have used both of them at POTA events, Club POTAs, and hopefully we'll get out and do some POTA on our own here sometime in the near future. But good to hear you tonight, Nick. Glad you had a good field day, and maybe that Flex Radio needed a bigger flux capacitor. Just wondering. Anyway, we'll clear at KF5ADE, and let's go down to Sandy, KG5SYC. How you doing, Sandy? Did you have a good time at Field Day? And what might your trivia answers be?
This is KG5SYC, and my Field Day, it was awesome. I was sitting in a chair with a vibrator and all cushioned, and I didn't have to worry about a microphone or a radio or listening to a bunch of people trying to make contacts that, I like to talk to people that I can meet, and that, which is why I stick with the 2-meter and with being on Echolink with you guys. It took me a while to even think about trying to use iPad for that because I was so much into a microphone from the CD era that sitting there, it just wasn't right. But the only way I could talk to you all and the people from Oklahoma was to be on Echolink, so I bowed down and I did it. So that's why I'm on now, because I know you guys and I really like you guys a lot, along with the Oklahoma group. Can't do without you. At any rate, so that was my field day. And it was nice and quiet because I didn't have to sit there and listen to anybody. I could sit there and just relax. At any rate, trivia. I'm just going to do the double B and call it all good. So other than that, this is KG5SYC. Back to net control.
All right, Sandy. Well, that's the beauty of amateur radio is there's so many different things to get involved with, and 2-meter and 70 centimeter for that matter, repeater operations and Allstar and everything. That's a whole world all into itself, and it's fabulous. I love it. So glad you're here. Glad you're in that world. You and Nick for sure. Good to hear you from Cibolo, and I got you down for Delta and Delta for the trivia. 73 Sandy, good to hear you. We'll clear with KG5SYC, and let's take a moment and identify. This is the Beacon Net on the W8WKY repeater in Doylestown, Ohio, 147 Mark 390 megahertz. And my call sign is Kilo Echo 8 Victor Zulu Alpha. My personal is Eric Echo Romeo India Charlie. I'm net control station tonight for the net, and this is with the Sarah with Sarah, the Sarah Club, Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association. And let's go on down our list here. Next up is Scott, up on the shores of Lake Erie, KE8VOX. How you doing, Scott? I missed you at field day. If you came in the later hours, I left about 25 after 10 on Saturday night. How you doing? What do you think the trivia answers are?
Quick comment on KG5SYC. That was Baker, or barometer beacon, however you want to call it. I'll let you get back to the other call, but I just wanted to correct it. It was double B. Baker, barometer beacon, whatever. KG5SYC.
KE8VZA here. No problem, Sandy. I corrected your answers to bacon and beacon. How's that? Thanks for the correction. No worries. Okay, KE8VOX. Scott, how you doing? And what are your trivia answers tonight?
Good evening, Eric. Good evening, all the listeners. KE8VOX, Scott, up here on the shores of Lake Erie in Vermilion, Ohio. For trivia, Eric, I'm going to go with, for the first one, Charlie, and for the second one, Alpha. Charlie Alpha. And, yeah, I'm sorry I missed you there. I went to the Sarah field day. I didn't get there until a little after 11. Me and Chris, KE8MMY, made the midnight run over there, and because of my dog, it was a pretty warm day and whatnot. And my dog got travel with me, so we didn't get there until a little after 11. Didn't get home until just about 5 o'clock this morning. Not used to those hours at all anymore, so I pretty much didn't do a whole lot of anything up here on the lake. It was a nice day, but I stayed inside and kind of like napped on and off there for a little bit, and watched the Cleveland Guardians. I imagine they lost. I kind of fell asleep towards the end there, but they were down 7-0, the last score I remember seeing. But otherwise, didn't do nothing. I had a great time at the field day. They had quite the setups there. K4OG had a satellite set up there, antennas and radio and all the gizmos that go with it, and that was really interesting, and had a great time to the big cheese, the junior cheese, and eating cookies. So I had a good time. Thanks for doing the net there, Eric. Thanks for getting me in, and KE8VZA, this is KE8VOX.
All right, Scott, very good. Glad you guys made it. Sorry I missed you. Yeah, I was starting to fizzle out there, so I had to head home. And but I'm glad you and Chris made it down. And just FYI, tonight's main trivia question was an idea from Chris, KE8MMY, that he texted to me. And when you hear the answer and the backstory, I think it's very interesting. Chris found a good one, so I decided to roll with it. And anyway, glad you guys got to see Mark, K4OG's satellite setup. I was working it with him. We were trying to make contact with one of the satellites passing over, and I was working the, well, I wouldn't say I was working the controls. They worked themselves, but I was shouting out our call sign, but all I heard back was a tango. I think somebody heard me, but I couldn't really make a good contact. So it was cool, though. Very cool. Yeah, very elaborate setup. Anyway, good to hear you, Scott. That got you down for Charlie and Alpha for the trivia. And yeah, I know the heat is you got to watch the pets in the heat. They can succumb to it pretty quickly if you're not careful. So yeah. Anyway, KE8VOX, we'll clear with you, 73. Let's go on down to John, W2JLS. How you doing tonight, John? And what do you think the trivia answers might be?
Eric, good evening on your ears, sir.
It's John W2JLS. I've been listening in. It's really oppressively hot and sticky here. I would like to say it's not that hot, but the humidity is making it really kind of noticeable. I've got a fan behind me. I'm operating not from my radio room, but upstairs in the den because I'm hammering out some work here on the computer in the living room. So there's that. I think it's like 70. Last time I checked, it was 78 degrees and 74% relative humidity, which is just double trouble. My AC is having a hard time keeping up. Need to get maybe some service to boost that somehow. The trivia, I liked, very creative. I've never heard that question before, and I don't know the main trivia answer, but my guess is going to be D, in part because of the employment of the word code, and I'm having a hard time finding a hook to hang a hat on apart from that. Neat question, neat research, whoever did that. You just mentioned him, Chris, I think. And then the other question, I don't know. I don't know the answer, but I see dead people. That quote's coming to mind. I don't know, but I kind of like that. I've heard of the Soloisi, but I don't remember the context. But it's kind of creepy answer, but I'm going to go with that one. Anyway, thanks for having me tonight, and good evening to all of you on your ears, and I hope you're staying cool. W2JLS, back to net.
Well, you know, John, in my own mind, I'm always cool. My wife will tell you the real story, though. But anyway, good to hear you tonight. Got you down for Delta and Alpha for the trivia questions. And I was leaning toward Alpha for the alternate trivia there, too. Just kind of a guess, but I don't know. It's just weird enough. But good to hear you tonight, John. 73, we'll clear with W2JLS. Now let's go down to Northern Mark, KC8FQV. How you doing tonight, Mark? And what are your answers for the trivia? And what else do you have for the net?
TA. D for the first one, Alpha for the second one. Yeah, I don't know where the field day was at down there. I went down, I didn't see nothing. So, we'll send it back to net, KSFQV. I did stop at a field day over in Portage County in Freedom. P-Cars, I stopped there last night. So, I did find that one. So, we'll send it back to net, KSFQV.
All right, Mark, very good. Got you down for Delta and Alpha. Glad you got over to P-Cars. Sarah's was at the Legion Hall just down the street from the Mexican restaurant, Nuestra Casa. And it wasn't at the Eagles. It was over at the Legion Hall. So I don't know, maybe you went to the wrong place? Or if you got there after noon today, after 12 noon, I think the show was all packed up and everybody had scattered. But sorry we missed you. Anyway, we'll clear with KC8FQV 73 Mark. And let's go down to Carol down in Texas. KI5 Echo Mike Tango. How you doing tonight, Carol? And did you have a good field day? And what do you think trivia answers might be?
Yeah, sorry I missed the trivia question. I went to Hazel, Texas, which is north of Fort Worth, Texas. I went over to Bridgeport, Texas yesterday and talked to the guys at the club over there to their field day, and was quite interesting. But yeah, it's just getting hot here in Texas. Back to net, KI5EMT.
All right, Carol, no worries. We're due for a reread of the trivia questions anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and reread the main question. Let me flip over to it here. Which everyday business tool has its roots in a facet of amateur radio? Choices are Alpha, cash register, spreadsheet, Charlie, Muzak, or Delta, barcodes. That's main trivia for tonight. Let's see. We'll go down to KI5DAY. Alan, if you would please read the alt trivia question again.
KI5D in the net, and tonight's alternate trivia question reads as follows. There is an indigenous people called the Solowesi. They are unique in whenever they eat their meals, they eat right along with what? Is it A, dead people, B, iguana lizards, C, pygmy boars, or D, the Cornwaldo Bridge Club, Cornwaldo Bean Bridge Club, that is. KI5DAY, back to net.
KE8VZA returning. Thank you, Alan. Let's go back down to KI5EMT. Carol, do you want to answer the trivia for tonight?
Well, I'll go with Delta and Alpha. KI5EMT.
All right, Carol, very good. Got you down for Delta and Alpha. Thanks for joining us tonight all the way from Texas. We'll clear with KI5EMT 73. And let's go down to Mac over in Arkansas. How are you doing tonight, Mac? KI5RFI. And what do you have for trivia answers?
Good evening, everybody on the net. It's KI5RFI down here in sultry, hot northwest Arkansas. It's been a rough week with the heat down here. Field day. I didn't make it up to our Bella Vista area field day up on the top of Bella Vista Mountains until about 10, almost 10 o'clock at night. Spent 11 hours on a baseball field in southern Fayetteville and then had to drive 30 miles to get up there. But anyhow, I found out that they, before I got there, they made contact with the space station. They had a satellite, or not the space station, they had a satellite system set up with a rotating antenna that was working pretty well. And they almost got blown away up there in Bella Vista. They had a bad storm before I got there and almost tore down a couple of their antennas and soaked everything. But overall, they still had a great time there. My trivia questions, answers will be Bravo and Bravo. Back to net control.
All right, Mac, very good. Well, I'm glad you did not get blown away, and I'm glad the antennas made it through the wind there, and glad you had a good field day. Satellite contact, I believe that's worth 100 points, but we tried. I don't know if Mark ultimately made a satellite contact with the Sarah Club with his setup. I'll have to ask him. Anyway, it was definitely a cool setup, and I'd like to dabble in that at some point in the future. But anyway, got you down for a Bravo and Bravo for the trivia, Mac. Good to hear you tonight. And 73, we'll clear at KI5RFI. We're at the bottom of the list here. Let's see if there's any other check-ins out there. I am KE8VZA with the Beacon Net on the W8WKY repeater in Doylestown, Ohio. And I'm looking for check-ins. Please call.
AB8MO recheck.
And this is KB8LJ.
KE8VZA returning very good. We got 3 more stations there. We have a recheck from AB8MO. We picked up KB8LJ Chuck and KE8MMY Chris. Let's go up to our recheck. Andy, AB8MO, what do you have for us?
to the newcomers. This is AB8MO. I just wanted to let you know I have video evidence from Josh, WHRF, that the club did indeed make at least one satellite contact. He told me two, but there was definitely one because the guy, whoever was replying, definitely said W8WKY. So it did happen. From what I could tell on the video, that was pretty wild that Josh recorded that. So just thought I'd let you know. Back to you there, Eric, K8VZA. This is AB8MO.
All right, Andy. Well, hey, thanks for coming back with that. That's very good news. I tried. All I got back was a tango. I think somebody heard me, or it was just a random station trying to do what I was trying to do. But that's cool. I'll have to look for that video. But thanks. We'll clear with AB8MO. Let's go down to Chuck, KB8LJ. How you doing tonight, Chuck? And what do you have for the trivia answers?
Okay. This is KB8LJ. Well, let's see. For the first trivia answer, I don't remember which letter it was, but I'll say a spreadsheet. And for the second one, I'll say lizards. And we'll let it go at that. But then another trivia question. Just wondering if anybody managed to activate the Arkadelphia water tower. I think that would be a great opportunity there, because somebody with a highly directional UHF antenna, get on 70 centimeters, pointed at the water tower, and then let the signal reflect off the water tower, and you ought to get some pretty wild coverage. So I don't know if anybody tried doing that or not, but we certainly don't want to leave the Arkadelphia water tower out of field day. So, Eric, this is KB8LJ, back to net.
W8WKY.
All right, Chuck, very good. Yeah, water tower bounce. That will be cool. Got you down for Bravo and Bravo. And Mark, K4OG, tracked the moon with his satellite setup. He did transmit, but, it didn't really know what angle we were hitting it at or where that signal might have gone. And he didn't think he was really making it to the moon with his setup. But he hit the PTT anyway. I mean, why not? Anyway, good to hear you tonight, Chuck. Got you down for Bravo and Bravo. We'll clear with KB8LJ, and let's go down to Chris, KE8MMY. I'm going to switch over to the K8KRG repeater when you transmit, Chris, because you were a little scratchy and faint coming in. But go ahead, KE8MMY.
KE8MMY, how's this coming through, Eric?
That's pretty good there, Chris.
All right, good to hear from you. And since you thank for the mention, and I will abstain from that question. And the other one, it tickles me pink to think of this little piggy had roast beef. So I'm going to go with that for my answer. Had a good field day. I started off Black River Radio Ops, and they had one of their stations was an SO2R, a single operator, 2 radios, and they had the Flex Radio that you were just talking about. And it can go on 2 different bands and be transmitting on one and then automatically switch to transmit on the other, the digital modes. And so in effect it had 100% transmission rate, and you had to find the contact. Let me drop it just a moment. You had to find the contact, but once you got rolling with it, you could be doing 2 contacts at once. I thought that was pretty neat. That's a group that operates, has good really operating technique. And then we went down to Sarah and really enjoyed that. All of those antennas, I am just amazed at how much antenna work got done in such a short amount of time. That was really awesome, and it made for a good operating down there. And then I came up and took a little nap, had breakfast, and went over to Nor's and Lacara. I got there about 10:30, but they were already buttoning up. But I spent some time with Pete and Jeannie and really enjoyed that. And came home and took a nap, went for a bike ride, and now I'm all yours. So KE8MMY, back to you.
All right, Chris. Well, like I told Scott, sorry I missed you guys. I didn't miss you by much, but I was at the point where I needed to find my bed. Anyway, but good to hear you, and thanks for the idea for the main trivia question. Again, I think it's a good one. I think people will like hearing the answer and the backstory. That really makes it interesting. But glad you got around to a couple of the other field days, and always good to see Pete and Jeannie. And we'll clear with KE8MMY. I'm KE8VZA with the Beacon Net on the W8WKY repeater in Doylestown, Ohio. 147 Mark 390 megahertz with a positive offset and a PL tone of 114 Mark 8. And I'm looking for more check-ins. We're at the bottom of our list. If you'd like to get on the log for the Beacon Net, please give me a call.
Greetings, Kilo India 6 Whiskey Papa Kilo, KI6WPK, Bill in San Francisco.
Victor Kilo 2 Delta Yankee, VK2DY, Robert and Sid.
All right, very good. We picked up 2 there. Copied KI6WPK, Bill, over in California, and VK2DY, Robert, down under. Let's touch base here with KI6WPK. Did you hear our trivia questions by chance?
Well, hello to Doylestown. I grew up near Cincinnati, and I still visit my family back there. And I also go to the Hamvention in Xenia occasionally. And you might know of the wonderful historical television museum in Hilliard, which is south of you. I've been there a few times. They've got a terrific museum on early television. Anyway, let's see, trivia. I'm going to guess Baker Bravo BB is my guess on that. Back to the wonderful net, KI6WPK.
All right, Bill, very good. Got you down for Bravo and Bravo. And the Television Museum, I have not heard of that one. I would like to see that. Thank you for bringing that up. I made a note of it. And anyway, thanks for checking in with us, Bill, all the way from California. We'll clear with KI6WPK, and let's go down to VK2DY, Robert. How you doing tonight, Robert? And what do you have for the Beacon Net? And what do you think the trivia answers are?
Good afternoon. This is Robert, VK2DY, in northwestern Sydney. This suburb, Beaumont Hills is the name of the suburb, not that it matters. Anyway, the sun is shining, and it's 16 degrees Celsius, which is 61 Fahrenheit. That's all we're going to get today. But the All the weather people are excited because we're going to get a cyclone bomb, I think they call it that, a low-pressure system that turns into a massive rainfall and wind and all sorts of other things. So the weather people are really, really excited here that that's coming up. But at the moment, it's a beautiful winter's day here in Sydney, so I guess we'll see what happens tomorrow. But anyway, that's the weather here. We, of course, didn't have field day here, so sometimes I get on the radio and try to listen, see if I can get to North America. I tried a couple of times. I could not even hit Hawaii, so I don't think, at least from my experience, the band conditions were very good, but maybe it's just my equipment. But anyway, I tried, and I couldn't reach you guys. Other than that, not much else happening here. Just like I said, middle of winter, headed towards, days are getting longer now. I'm going to go with Bravo and Bravo for the trivia. VK2DY, back to...
All right, Robert. Well, hey, thanks for checking in with us all the way from suburban Sydney. And I got you down for Bravo and Bravo. And, yeah, I don't think the bands were really that great, at least from where we were sitting in northern Ohio. And Ray down in Oklahoma had made the same comment. But they were workable, but I wasn't hearing anybody like south of North Carolina or west of, I heard a Minnesota station, but that was it. I didn't hear anything further west, anything further south. Did make contact with a few Canadian stations. That was cool. Anyway, good to hear from you, Robert, and thanks for checking in, 73. And that brings us again to the bottom of the list. If there's anyone else that would like to get on the log before we read the trivia answers, please give me a call.
W8.
KE8, HNK.
Whiskey Victor 3 Kilo, WV3K.
All right, very good. We picked up two more, KE8, HNK, Elmer, and WV3K, Philip. Let's go up to KE8, HNK, Elmer. How you doing tonight, Elmer? And what do you think the trivia answers might be?
KE8, HNK. I'm going to skip on the trivia questions tonight, but one of the things that I heard you and the other gentleman talking about in Dayton, Ohio, some of the fun stuff to actually check out, besides the television museum, is Carillion Park. They have a nice thing there, and they also have one of the original Wright Brothers planes on display there. Also a big transportation and history museum. Of course, if you can steal a little bit of time away, and I would recommend a whole day of this, to go to the Dayton Air Force Museum. We were there once, and we went through it about 4.5 hours and still didn't cover everything. And then finally, of course, the Voice of America down there near Cincinnati. It's about a good hour and a half drive down to there, but very well worth seeing the museum. Learn about a lot of radio and how ham radio played with the Cold War and the World War II, how the Cincinnati station played in thwarting false propagation to Hitler's forces. So a lot of cool stuff in that video as well. But Carillion Park is, the last time we were there was about $15 to get in per person. But it's very well worth it, very well there. And, of course, you can see two of the three Wright Brothers planes still in existence. So I'm going to turn it over to you. I'm going to say good night. And 73, this is KH and K, back over to Net Control.
All right, Elmer, very good. Hey, I made some more notes here of museums I have to get to, and thanks for that. Very good, very good. The Wright-Patterson Air Force Museum, I haven't been there in about, it's been like 40 years, and I hear it has changed so much, and I'm really dying to get down there. And while I'm down there, there's obviously other things to see. The Wright Brothers planes, that would be cool, and that other museum in Cincinnati I've always wanted to see as well. Thanks, Elmer. Good to hear you tonight. And we'll clear with KE8HNK 73, and let's go down to Philip, WV3K. How you doing tonight, Phil? And what are your trivia answers?
Well, this is WV3K to you. I really don't know what the answers could be. I didn't hear them. I didn't hear the questions. I just turned on the radio late, just looking at the time and saying, I just wonder if there's any traffic going on. And lo and behold, there's people talking. So I thought I'd come in and say hello. I don't really have any answers, like I said. I just wanted to come in and say hello to you, and hopefully everyone is doing well. I know that we've had a very beautiful day today, past few days with some minor spots of rain. I hope that the rest of the week for everyone will continue being blessed, and I hope everyone is doing a lot better for those who are ill. So that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it back over to you and conduct a good session as you always have. So my blessings to all, and I just hope that you enjoy the rest of the week. This is Whiskey Victor 3 Kilo, and I'm going to send this back to that control.
All right, Phil, very good to hear you tonight. Thanks for checking in. Would you like us to reread the trivia questions?
I know you may hear what my first answer is. I'm not going to answer that question. Yeah, you can go ahead and read, and I won't put too much thought into it because I'm not really wanting to sit on the radio too long right now because it's been a long day, but I did enjoy today. Go ahead. WV3K.
All right, Phil, no worries. We'll read them again. Main trivia, here we go. Which everyday business tool has its roots in a facet of amateur radio? Choices are Alpha, cash register, Bravo, spreadsheet, Charlie, Muzak, or Delta, barcodes. Let's go down to Alan, KI5DAY. Alan, would you please reread the alt trivia question?
Not now. I'm right in the middle of a Rothschilds. No, yes, I will. KI5DAY. Okay, tonight's alternate trivia question is, an indigenous people called the Sulawesi are unique in that whenever they eat their meals, they eat right along with what? Is it A, dead people, B, iguana lizards, C, pygmy boars, or D, the Cornwaldo Bean Bridge Club? That's hard to say. KI5DAY, back to net.
All right, Alan, very good, and thanks for rereading that. And hi, Larry. Anyway, let's go back down to WV3K. Phil, what do you think of the trivia questions?
Oh, my goodness. I would say that I like Larry better than the questions tonight. Oh, gee. I'm going to go with Alan's question and say I'm not going to go with the heinous thought of thinking of being a dead person. Okay, I know that it's been done for survival, and there's history about that. And you know, I can't even bring myself to give that kind of stuff entertaining to thought. But anyway, I'll go with Charlie on his. And on the primary, I don't know if I heard Univac or what I heard for Charlie on that one, but I'm going to go ahead anyway. So right or wrong, there you have it. And again, thank you so much for acknowledging and doing a great job, doing a very, very good job. Eric, I'm going to go ahead and let you go, and I'm going to go ahead and get myself ready for bed. So, God bless everyone, and please have a wonderful, healthy, and safe week coming up, and a wonderful holiday. This is Whiskey Victor 3 Kilo, and I'm QRT.
All right, Phil, very good. Good, a good rest tonight, and it's good to hear you. We got you down for Charlie and Charlie for the trivia. And Alan's answer about the dead people was not eating them, but eating with them present. Anyway, still kind of bizarre, for sure. Anyway, good to hear you, Phil, 73. And we'll clear with WV3K. And let's make one more call before we read the trivia answers. Anybody who would like to get on the line, give me a call.
Recheck.
November 5, America, Quebec, Mexico, N5AQM. Very late to the party.
Whiskey Victor for recheck.
All right, we picked up 2 rechecks and 1 new station. We got a recheck from KE8QFT as well as WV3K. And the N5 station, I copied November 5 Alpha Quebec. Mike, is that correct?
W8WKY.
Yeah, that is correct. That is correct. Just checking in. You don't have to reread the questions. I won't make a guess. But, yeah, that is correct. Mike in Chandler, Arizona. Good evening.
All right, Mike, as long as we got you on the horn here, what are your guesses for trivia, and what else might you have for the net tonight?
Well, I'll give you a quick weather report. We are definitely in scorchville territory out here in Phoenix, Arizona. Chandler, actually more specific, southeast of Phoenix. It's 114 today, and dew points up in it's all over the place. It was up at 54 this morning, and it was when I went out to go fly models this morning at 5:30. It was pretty sticky, as we would say, but. No, don't worry about the question. No problem. Unless you want to reread it, I'll take a guess. But I totally missed the question. So back to you, N5AQM, and thank you.
All right, Mike. We can reread them again real quick, but before we do, let me go up and get our rechecks. Phil, WV3K, go ahead with your recheck, please.
Whiskey Victor 3 Kilo. My wife just kind of cornered me on that I wasn't hearing the question the answers clearly, or the question rather, and that it had nothing to do with anybody dead. So I don't know. I guess that maybe not putting my hearing aids in didn't help matters any either, and getting anxious to check in and hopefully check back out too. But anyway, I don't know. I really goofed up there. So anyway, I'm going to stay with the same answer. I don't really mind. Everyone enjoys goofing up, and especially when it's not life-threatening. So this is that was kind of a I don't know. I'm going to just give it back to net control. I can't even think right now. So, Erica, go ahead. Great night. I'm sorry wasting any time here. WV3K, I'm clear, and thank you for the response on recheck.
All right, Phil, no worries. Got you down again for Charlie and Charlie for the trivia. We'll clear with WV3K 73. Let's go down to our other recheck, KE8QFT. Fred, I'm pretty sure that was you. Go ahead, Fred.
Well, thank you, Eric, first of all, for recognizing my unique voice. I just got excited. Someone mentioned the Air Force Museum. Me and my wife went down there a couple of times, and I'll tell you, as far as not leaving the state, one of them type things, one tank trip, well, you might want to spend the night down there because, you know, it is a ways to Dayton. But I'm telling you, that Air Force Museum, the first thing I'd like to say about it is it's free. You know, it's free, and it just encompasses so much. I've been there twice. I don't think I've seen everything yet. And they've even got a couple of missiles there, and they got planes hanging from the ceiling. And I don't mean just Piper Cubs. I think seen the B-52s there. I was able to go on the Air Force One that Kennedy flew to Dallas that fateful day, and man, it's just an outstanding trip. I recommend it to anybody. KE8QFT. Thanks for letting me back in there, Eric.
All right, Fred, no worries, and thanks for the info about the Air Force Museum, and I definitely want to get back down there. It's been far too long, but we'll clear with KE8QFT. Before we go back to N5AQM, let's go and reread the trivia questions. I'll reread main, and it is, which everyday business tool has its roots in a facet of amateur radio? Choices are Alpha, cash register, Bravo, spreadsheet, Charlie, Muzak, or Delta, barcodes. That's main trivia. Alan, KI5DAY, would you please reread the alt trivia question?
KI5DAY, yeah, I think we've set an all-time record for rereads tonight, so everybody that we had to reread for has to spend quality time in the corner tonight. Hi. Okay, tonight's alternate trivia is an indigenous people called the Sulawesi. They are unique in the fact that whenever they eat their meals, they eat right along with what? They eat with A, dead people, B, iguana lizards, C, pygmy boars, or D, the Cornwaldo Bean Bridge Club. KI5DAY, back to net.
All right, thanks, Alan. And another original song by Larry the Rubber Chicken. Thanks, Larry. All right, let's go back down to Mike, N5AQM. Mike, what do you think the trivia answers might be?
Okay, this is N5AQM. This is just going to be a swag. Simply a wild guess, you know. I'm going to say A and C. I'll take A and C. I really am not sure of any of them. You guys have tough questions. Let me tell you. Some other trivia nets have real easy questions, but hi. You guys are tough. So anyway, that's what's happening out here in the desert Southwest. Hopefully we'll get some rain. We're like 20% chance, 30% chance. Monsoon flow is coming. The dew points are up, so we will definitely take it. We're anxiously waiting for some serious rainstorms, thunderstorms here in the Valley of the Sun. Back to you, and thanks for having me. I appreciate it, N5AQM.
All right, Mike, no worries. Thanks for joining us tonight. Got you down for Alpha and Charlie, and maybe the heat made you pick those answers, I wonder, A and C. Anyway, I hope you guys get some rain down there, get some relief, and good to hear you. 73, Mike. We'll clear with N5AQM. Let's go up and read the answers to the trivia questions. So I'll start off with Maine. Let me take a break for time. KE8VZA returning with the main trivia answer. So which everyday business tool has its roots in some facet of amateur radio? Was it the cash register, or the spreadsheet, or Muzak, or barcodes? Well, the answer is actually Delta, barcodes. Let me take a break and I'll read you the answer. It's got a very good backstory. KE8VZA returning. Here we go. While the UPC code launched in 1974, it was not the first attempt to create a system that could identify and classify products and get shoppers through checkout lines efficiently. Back in 1949, Norman Joseph Woodland and Bernard Silver filed a patent application for a classifying apparatus and method. Known as the bullseye code, their invention featured concentric circles. One day, while running his fingers through the sand at the beach, Woodland was thinking of this code and realized that lines of varying widths could represent data in the same way that dashes and dots do from Morse code. So there's the hook. While it was a great concept, it required a 500-watt light and a special tube to convert the light into code. So it was a little too complicated of a setup. IBM ultimately refined this idea into the technology that we have today with barcodes and scanners. And on June 26, 1974, a checkout employee at a Marsh supermarket in Troy, Ohio, became the first person to have a grocery item scanned, and it was a pack of Wrigley's Juicy Fruit chewing gum using a UPC, a Universal Product Code barcode. Anyway, there you have it. Morse code was the hook into barcodes, and very similar idea there. So that's main trivia, Delta barcodes. I'll take a break. KE8VZA. Okay, let's go down to KI5DAY. Alan, what do you have for the net? What comments do you have for tonight? And your trivia, your main trivia, I forgot to come to you for your main trivia answer. I'm sorry. Well, after your comments, if you would read the answer to alt trivia.
Just as you called out to me. Yeah, I wasn't sure on your answer, man. I was a little torn between B and D, but I thought maybe possibly that B had something to do with spreadsheets for logbooks or something, but I wasn't sure. So, yeah, that's a good one. Good net as always, and it's a lot of fun, and I'm tired, but it's been a good night. So, my main question was, an indigenous people called the Sulawesi are unique in whenever they eat their meals, they eat right along with, was it A, dead people, B, iguana lizards, C, pygmy boars, or the Cornwall Bean Bleach Club? It was actually A. Yeah, they actually eat with their dead. They don't always bury their dead until they can afford to give them elaborate funerals. A lot of times they feel like they still have a connection to them, so they'll keep them alive. And it's basically a group of Sulawesi people called the Toraha, is a faction of the Sulawesi that mostly does this. There's other pockets of people that do. So, yeah, they do all kinds of strange things, and they occasionally feed them and try to change their clothes from time to time. They even bury them and dig them back up annually for different reasons and celebrations. And, yeah, it's pretty bizarre stuff. So if you get a chance to look it up, yeah, it's kind of mind-blowing. I think it would be more fun to eat with pygmy boars, but I'm sure they would be scurrying all over the place, and iguana lizards would beat you to death with their tails, so that wouldn't be too entertaining. However, I have had some lovely dinners with the Cornwall Bean Bridge Club. But, yeah, fun times. KI5DAY, back to net.
All right, Alan, thank you for that. Very interesting answer. All right, and question, of course. And I apologize. I was remiss most of the BeaconNet team is checked out tonight, except for one very important member, KD8 EPC Dustin. Are you still out there? I apologize, I missed you. Okay, Dustin must have cashed it in early tonight, but 73 Dustin, KD8 EP. Sorry, I missed you if you're still listening. Anyway, that's the two trivia questions and trivia answers. Let's take one more call for check-ins for a last call here for the BeaconNet. If you'd like to get on the log, I'm KE8VZA with the BeaconNet on the W8WKY repeater in Doylestown, Ohio, and I'm listening for more check-ins.
KE8VZA, this is Kilo Delta 8 Sierra Lima Golf, KD8 SLG, Nick Norville. Just punching in with you. Saying thanks. And 73 all y'all.
All right, Nick, good to hear you, and it was great spending some time with you and the rest of the Sarah members at Field Day, and glad we got the antennas up and back down again. And anyway, good time I think was had by all, and thanks for everything you did to pull it all together. Very important piece there. So we'll clear with KD8 SLG. Anybody else who would like to get on the log, last call for the BeaconNet, please give me a call. KE8VZA returning, hearing nothing. We'll go ahead and end the net tonight. I'm KE8VZA, as I also just mentioned. Anyway, this has been the BeaconNet on the W8WKY repeater in Doylestown, Ohio. And the BeaconNet meets here on this same repeater every Sunday and Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. with check-ins at 9:30. Those are Eastern times. And we are linked to other repeaters. We're linked to a repeater down in Oklahoma. I don't remember its call sign, but down in the Tulsa area. And that's where Alan's coming in from, and Ray, K5CFY, and Taco Tim, and a couple others. And we're also linked to the Elyria repeater in Northeast Ohio here, the KRG, and various nodes out there, and connections, I think Texas repeater there. Anyway, I'm getting beyond my knowledge of Allstar, let me tell you, way beyond the tips of my skis. So with that, we'll end the BeaconNet tonight. And thanks for everybody joining in, and anybody out there just listening, feel free to check in if you have a license, and if not, contact your friendly neighborhood ham club, and they can get you set up on the path to get a license. Anyway, it's been my pleasure to be your net control station tonight. This is KE8VZA. We'll close the BeaconNet and return this repeater to normal and open amateur use. 73, everyone. KE8VZA cleared.
KD2YLE. Hello, KD2YLE.
W8WKY. W8WKY. W8WKY repeater PL1 14.8.